I want to talk a little bit about how our health journey often actually starts with a fail. So, for myself, my health journey started with pain in my hip. I've met a lot of people where their health journey starts with being overweight or getting diagnosed with hypertension or diabetes or some health problem. It's very rare that our health journey starts with us already healthy, right? Otherwise, we probably wouldn't call it that. What this makes me think about is the fact that we unfortunately wait until there's a huge problem before we start trying to find out what the answer to that problem. But that's kind of normal. It's we wouldn't be trying to solve something that's working well. If I'm trying to solve something, I'm going to have 5, 6, 12 attempts at doing what I think makes sense or what I've been told makes sense. So maybe my doctor tells me that I have high blood pressure, and then my doctor tells me you need to take salt out of your diet. And then I'm going to make my attempts at doing that. Or maybe my hip is hurting and I think I need to lose weight, and I'm going to take my attempts at doing that. Every attempt is either going to have a success or fail. And if I fail, I feel bad about it. And my question is, why do we put so much pressure on ourselves to be successful in the first try? And I think that this comes from multiple places, but today in this world that we're living, it's coming from this idea that we see so many other people easily doing what we cannot do. And I say easily in quotation marks because if anything that we've learned in the course of our lives is that it's hard to solve problems because problems tend to be hard. If they weren't problems, like, you know what I mean? Okay. Many of us are trying to be healthier, and we have information that we're trying to use. And the idea being, I'm going to do what I'm told. I'm going to get my weight under control. Great. It's easy. Because we're being told that step 1, step 2, step 17, it's easy to get our weight under control, then first of all, when we make an attempt and we fail, we think it's not working, we quit. But I think what's more important is that when we make an attempt and it's working and we've decided that this is super easy, what we don't realize is that when we're first trying to solve a problem, we're so enthusiastic about solving it that we tend to be very strict on what we're doing. Now, if I'm strict on what I'm doing and I'm doing it to the letter and it's working, then that doesn't necessarily mean it's easy. It just means that I'm doing it so well that it's doing what it's supposed to do. I feel like one of the reasons that we end up failing when we're trying to maintain our weight loss is because if we did what we were doing very well, no matter what kind of diet it was, we would have lost weight. And then once we've lost the weight, because we did it so well and it seemed so easy, we're willing to go back to eating what we were eating before, which means that our weight will rise again, which means that we're back in the situation we were in before, and then we have to go through this process again. And now we feel like we failed, but in fact, what we did was succeed and then stop doing the thing that was leading to our success. And all of this coming from this idea that we shouldn't fail. We don't believe we should fail. We believe that we should be able to do something, and if we have good information, just get it right the first time. I want you to stop and think about most of the things that you've ever learned in your life, whether it was snowboarding, or it was how to do your job, or it was how to cook a certain dish. Every time we do the thing, we get better at it. If we don't do the thing for a long period of time, we might forget how to do it. So we get back to this idea of practice makes perfect. The more we do something, the easier it is, the better we are. But that also means that the more we've done it, the more we don't let ourselves see that I'm good at it because I've done it so much. So I had a lot of fails maybe at the beginning, But then I'm not thinking about those fails because, well, I'm so successful at it now. I can guarantee you that the beginning of my solving my hip and losing the weight that I lost, it was a lot of mistakes. I didn't just drop 70 pounds overnight, although it felt like it, because 5 months isn't long. When you think about the fact that I was carrying an extra 70 pounds on my body for more than 6 years, the fact that I could lose that weight in 5 months, it does seem amazing. Except when you start to realize that that wasn't why I was trying to solve a hip problem. And the attempts that I had made at solving that hip problem, I had failed several times. And I lived 7 to 12 months of pain before I got to the answer that then led to me losing also 70 pounds in 5 months. It was a happy accident, as Bob Ross would say, but it wasn't that I just figured it out and first shot I lost the weight. Me realizing that this fear of failure that we live with, which keeps our mental health a struggle, also stops us from achieving our goals. Because if I don't push through that fear of failure and get to the place where I'm willing to fail, if it means that eventually I succeed, so I'm willing to try different things to get me to the point where I'm exercising regularly, I'm eating healthy foods regularly, I'm feeling great in my body. If I'm willing to live the failure to get to these outcomes, what that means is that I will do different actions and I will try different things and I will let myself figure out, how do I get to the place where I actually know what to do to feel healthy? I know what to eat to stay at a healthy weight, to build my body properly, to have mental clarity, all the things that food gives us. It's really hard to see people give up on eating healthy, or give up on working out, or give up on getting to bed on time, or all the things that we try to do for our good health because the answer didn't happen immediately. Most of us will need months, if not years, to get to the place where our body is back to functioning at the peak that it can function for the age and health that we are today. Am I ever going to have the body that I had when I was 20? No, that's not going to happen. But can I have the healthiest version of me that I could possibly have today? Yes, if I understand that one failure day of not getting to bed on time, or one failure day of eating something that I thought was okay that wasn't, doesn't equal I need to give up. If you want to know more about how we can keep our mental health strong while we're trying to heal our bodies, check out the video that I have on the screen right here, because I really hope it's going to help you to stick to the plan and do the thing that helps you to feel the best. For those of you that are still watching right now, I would love to know, what is it that you would like to change and you think that it might take you more than 3 attempts to get it to happen? Put it in the comments. Let's talk about it.